I just want to let you guys know that if you're entering your 20s or even in your early 20s, I'm 24, life does get better. I just remember, being 18, 19, and honestly super depressed. My life wasn't, on the outside super bad. I had a lot of friends. I would, go out to bars, have some fun. But despite all of that, there was a really powerful loneliness at that age for me. I think dating, especially just for our generation, is a completely new ball game, and all the advice I got from, people older than me, it just didn't really seem to work. And I think, everyone our age is going through their own stuff. It's hard to actually find relationships, especially younger, but that wasn't something I fully realized, and it ended up with me getting really caught up on it and feeling super lonely. There was also a lot of pressure for me to start making money because, life is not getting any cheaper. So I feel like the main force was just to get us on the ball as soon as you can. And yeah, it's an insane amount of pressure that's put on young people these days to be successful financially. And it's also this period of your life, like when you're entering your 20s, you kind of have some autonomy. You kind of able to do what you want to do, but not really. You still rely on people. You still might not even have a job yet, or even your license. So, that kind of restricts your mobility. But yeah, all these kind of factors come into play to really, make this time in life really difficult for a lot of people. But again, if you're entering your 20s right now, I have some good news for you. Because this is when all that stuff starts to get better. Just from like a biological standpoint, I didn't really believe this when I was at that age, but apparently as you grow older, your brain literally changes. It doesn't really stop growing until you're like 24, 25. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you're missing out on, and when your brain is fully developed, you'll be able to better regulate your emotions, and I think it also leads to just being more comfortable with being you. And that comfort kind of, there's some people in high school who find their identity and kind of lean into it, but I think most people, as they kind of enter their 20s, into their later 20s, really start to figure out what kind of person they are, what they, even down to like what they wear, and just like what environments they feel best in. There's a lot of like self-growth and a lot of just learning about you, instead of, in high school when all the learning is focused on, sciences, maths, history. I think the 20s is when you finally get to take a couple classes in being yourself and figuring out what you love and what brings you joy. I find that another big realization for me was that you really don't need to be that successful to be happy. I think happiness really comes down to the connections you make and the friends who, stay a part of your life. And having all the money and all the drive in the world, I'm sure, for some people it helps, but for most people, you can be happy by just getting by. And that was something that wasn't talked about at all when I was, entering my 20s, 19, 18. Just getting by is more than enough. And yeah, to anyone watching who's kind of looking out at the world, I see comments on YouTube videos being like, when it's my turn to finally become an adult, and it's like some super bad like thing that's happening in the world. But yeah, to any of you who are like kind of scared of just the state of the world you're growing up in, I just want to let you know that life is good and things will get better. It just takes some time. Like, obviously the first couple years of your 20s are still going to be rough. You're still going to be battling with those internal demons and trauma that you haven't fully addressed yet, or maybe even realized. But the best thing you can do for yourself right now is just, take it easy on yourself. Show yourself a little love. I think so often the world tells us to plan for the future and have everything kind of drawn out. But in reality, that's just kind of not how humans are wired. I think if you just take it one day at a time, slowly, taking care of yourself mentally, physically, eventually, after a couple years, you're going to wake up and that heavy weight of depression is going to be gone. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys take it easy, and I will see you next time.